Hi there, and welcome to a new edition of And Just One More Thing. May is Affordable Housing Month, and I welcome any opportunity to talk about the tremendous need to continue to increase the supply of deeply affordable housing and to invest in homelessness prevention so that we have, frankly, fewer individuals who need to be housed or rehoused. In today's episode, you will come along with me to the grand opening of Mariposa Housing in District 4. This is one of the many, many projects that was funded with Measure A dollars, and I'm excited to show you. Stay with me. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Gosh, there is little I get to do that is more fun and more heart-filling than coming to ribbon cuttings and groundbreakings of affordable housing. So wonderful to be here with all of you. Moments like this show us what real progress looks like, not in abstract plans or policy documents, but in the form of homes rising in places that once sat underutilized, now becoming spaces where individuals and families will build stability and where a community will grow stronger around them. Mariposa Place stands as a reminder of what it means to transform space with purpose. I am back with Darlin, who is one of the residents of Mariposa. And first of all, thank you so much for opening your really, really lovely home to me.
Thank you. Thank you.
And tell me, when did you move in?
I moved in the end of March.
Okay. And that was when it first opened, it leased up pretty
it
quickly.
was. I think half of the people were probably here by the time I did. My name kind of got lost in the over the housing department sent it, but they didn't receive it. So
Okay.
I was calling, finding out what was going on, and I kept being told, we haven't gotten your name yet.
Oh, no. Well, I'm
and then
glad
they
that you
finally
made
found
it
it.
in.
Yeah, so they found it.
Tell me a little bit about the vibe of the building. Are you meeting the residents? What is
I'm
the
meeting
feel
a
here?
lot of people. I'm a pretty outgoing person,
Mm-hmm.
and it seems like I was talking to my kids about it one day. It's like I've never been into a place where everybody is happy and smiling, and I know it's because of housing.
Yeah,
Say more about that. Because we've all been able to get the housing, and it's like you walk down the corridor and people are just friendly. I have one guy down the corridor that comes and brings me fruit every once in a while, and then a couple others that the girls, we all meet outside with our dogs, and it's just been great. So I've made probably, I would say, at least 10 good friends here.
Oh, that's lovely.
And I haven't had a sense of community like that in years. I lived in my home for 30 years, and there was apartments all around me, and I had few friends, but I didn't know people as well as I've come to know these people in just a month.
I love to hear that. And you mentioned the dogs. There are a good number of dogs here. You've had your dog for a long time.
Yeah, I've had her for 9 years. She's my emotional support dog. I never could understand how people were so weird with their dogs until I got her, and she does really help when it comes to I get a lot of anxiety and depression and stuff, and she pulls me right out of it. So I think that's what a lot of these people are experiencing here, is their dogs are just keep them going. But now they're meeting other people that aren't just on the streets, and so it's been great. It's been great.
I really love that. I know in so many shelters, people are not allowed to have their pets with them, and that's one of the reasons that often people turn down those interim or transitional spaces.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier to me that you were in an RV for a little bit of time.
Well, I was in an RV for about 6 months.
Okay.
And I loved it.
Sure.
I mean, it was nice. It was a good size one.
Mm-hmm.
And
was it in a mobile home park?
I had it put in a park. When my brother sold our residence, and I was devastated because I didn't know where I was going to go. I told him, I said, well, you better buy me an RV or something to live in, because I'm not going to be sleeping on the street. I mean, an RV is bad enough, especially, because I had that high stairs to walk up and down, and it was pretty hard. And so I tried going over it. Even here in Santa Clara Valley, it costs like $1,500 just to rent a space to put your RV in. So I couldn't even afford that. So I went. My other daughter lives in Sacramento, so I went up that way, and she was able to get me in a spot up there. And I was there for a few months, but both my kids thought it was going to be very hard on me. And about that time, everybody just started praying, and lo and behold, I got this place.
So that's interesting about the RV parking charge. I guess that's why so many people end up parking on the streets, or cities occasionally create safe parking
because
places.
it gets expensive just with that. And then they also make you pay the water, the garbage, the sewer, everything.
Right, if you're hooked up to
if you're
utilities.
hooked up to it. So, and of course your own utilities, which you pay anywhere you go. But yeah, so it ended up being, even in a cheap spot, it ended up being over $1,000 a month.
Oh, I see.
And so that was, well over half of my income.
And are you paying 30% of your
I pay 30% here? Yes.
Okay.
So it's
and that feels manageable.
Very manageable. Yeah, it's a blessing.
And you have lots of pots. Do you cook?
I cook. I love to cook. Yeah.
What's one of your favorite dishes?
Well, tonight I'm making spaghetti because I love spaghetti.
Okay.
I can eat it for a week. Yeah, so it's just,
and
it's
that's
got
a full size stove,
and
full size refrigerator,
and a dishwasher, which I've never had in my life, and I've been in heaven.
Okay.
Because I've never had a dishwasher. Yeah, so then it's got a lot of cupboard space, which is great too, because I've noticed some of the other ones don't have quite as much.
Right.
But this unit
and it looks
does.
like the quality
is
nice
really
too.
good.
The hardware
really good.
is nice quality. By integrating rapid rehousing into this development, we are demonstrating real homelessness prevention, moving people into permanent homes faster and surrounding them with the support that changes the trajectory of their lives. So tell me, this is a darling unit. It's a 1-bedroom?
Yes.
And when did you move in?
I moved in, I want to say March 18th, I believe. And so I've been here since then. And before that, I was living in this 200 square foot studio. That bathroom is probably only just a little bit smaller than the unit I was living in. And it had a lot of problems.
Was that studio just in a regular apartment building?
Yeah, I share kind of. It's like it was converted from old dorms. So I actually shared my kitchen and bathroom with my neighbor, who had his own separate lease. So we were kind of like roommates.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But it was a very small unit. There was no shower. It was a standing shower only, and the stove never really heat the food up. And I gave them pretty much my entire check to stay there.
Oh,
yeah.
Had you been there for a long time?
I was there for about almost 2 years, I think.
Okay.
But before that, I lived in Pennsylvania for a bit. But before that, I was homeless since I was about 15, 16 years old.
In San Jose?
In Palo Alto.
Okay. So did you grow up there?
Kind of. My mom lives in East Palo Alto.
Okay.
So she lives right on the border between, right where the switch from Palo Alto to East Palo Alto is.
Got it.
Or she used to.
15 or 16 is pretty young. You left before you finished
school, yeah. And I also had to drop out so that I could get a job to pay my bills. My mom and I did not have the safest, healthiest relationship. And so I started leaving when I was about 15. I stopped coming back by the time I was 17.
That's very young to be on your own.
Yeah. It had its challenges, that's for sure.
Were you able to find work? Did you?
I worked at the theater for a while. But it turns out, though, and I didn't really put much stock in this then, that I am actually disabled and I can't hold down a job, a full-time job.
Oh.
So I actually ended up spending a lot of those first 8 years just trying to figure out things the way I could. And as a teenager, when you're underage, you don't qualify for a lot of the food services. So I had a very difficult time those first couple of years.
Oh, that's interesting. So you weren't formally emancipated or part of the foster system.
That's right, yeah.
Which would have helped you access those services.
Right.
Wow. It's hard to imagine how a teenager navigates on their own.
Mostly you just make people think you're crazy because you can't make them think you're strong, because I was too small for them to believe that. But if they thought I was crazy.
I realize that's a survival skill, but say more about that, if you will.
So when you're a homeless female in particular, like you're surrounded by a bunch of men, because most of the people who are homeless are men.
Mm-hmm.
Almost, and a lot of women, when they're homeless, will find a man to take care of them, or they'll steal. There's like a certain collection of things that they do that I never wanted to do. And so instead of like shacking up with some guy that might not be good for me or whatever else, I would just make them think I was crazy. Because if they thought I was crazy, then they wouldn't mess with me, because they would think that the retaliation would be way worse.
So that was your survival mechanism.
Yeah.
It's kind of genius.
Well, it was also kind of easy because they do have mental health issues. So, I mean, there's always that, well, not so much anymore, but at that age, there was always that voice in my head that I was still dealing with a lot of mental issues that I've mostly come to terms with at this point.
And tell me a little bit about this community. How has it been living at Mariposa? This has been
life-changing for me. I have never had a stable place to live before. And like the place I lived in Pennsylvania was very dangerous for me, because my ex-husband, he broke my back, and he found me, and so I had to leave. And then the place I was living before, I was giving them my entire check. That was never sustainable. It was just
you moved to Pennsylvania with him.
Yeah, and then I came back without it.
Okay.
So living here has been life-changing, because I've never had a chance to live somewhere stable. There are people here who are very invested in building a community, and I really like that. That's something that makes me feel so comfortable. And this place is gorgeous. It feels like I'm living in a high-rise apartment.
Look at your countertops, and the first thing I noticed is the quality of the hardware and the cabinets. I mean,
yeah,
I think Danco did a good job.
They did a really good job, and I like that there's access to services here. So if I need something,
tell me about that. What kind of services are available here?
So Dave was he's got somebody else working with him now, but at first it was just him, and he's done things like this couch that we're sitting on. He got me this couch. He's helped me fill out some paperwork with Social Security. There's a variety of support that he can provide. It's a little hard to touch on all of it, but it's been great to have him. He's helped me a few times, like when I was having problems with my foot. He got me an ace bandage wrap for it. So sometimes it's small, and sometimes it's, hey, Social Security is trying to take my check away. Can you help me? Because I have issues with them sometimes. They're not actually trying to take it away, but they never seem to update both at the same time. I don't know why.
And do you have Medicaid coverage?
Yes, Medicaid and Medicare. Care. Yeah.
Excellent. That's good. And you know that it's actually going to become, unfortunately, more complicated to keep the Medicaid, and you'll have to renew twice a year rather than once a year. And the service folks should be able to be helpful with that. But it's a good question to ask them, to make sure you
to be honest with you, I've never experienced the gap between like the
good that's what I want to hear for everybody.
I mean, no, what I mean is, like, they renew me and make me come in for an interview every year, so it's not new. It's just kind of something I'm used to. Like,
okay, good.
But now I have somebody, and this is partially because I got Dave's help to send them some paperwork I needed. Now there's somebody at Social Security who's reviewing my entire file. And I might get not only my overpayment waived, but I might get some additional money so I can buy more furniture for this beautiful apartment.
That would be lovely. And Lola seems very comfortable and relaxed here.
Yeah, this is the biggest space she's lived in her entire life. She's loving it.
How long has Lola been your companion?
Since she was about 10 months old, she'll be 8 in August.
Okay. So she's been through a lot with you.
Yeah, she is a service dog, and
Mhm.
I probably would not be here today without her. There were a number of times where she saved my life. So she's a very good dog, and I'm happy that she's happy with all this space.
I'm happy that the pets are so welcome here. That's really critical.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, I don't have to worry about that, right? Because she's a
Oh, 'cause
service
she's a
dog.
service
She
dog.
has
Right.
paperwork.
Yeah.
I am trying to slowly, partially retire her just so that she can enjoy her old age.
Hmm.
But she honestly doesn't want to. She's like, no, I want to work.
She's committed to you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Gypsy.
Sure.
It's really generous of you to let me come into your home and to hear you share some of your personal story. I really appreciate that. And I hope that you just live your best life at Mariposa. I wish you every good thing.
Thank you. I appreciate that. This was literally like winning the lottery. And when I found out I was moving in here, I had actually had an experience, like a near-death experience during a surgery.
Oh God.
And I swear I met God or somebody, and I was like, look, I'm ready to go unless you give me stable housing. And I found out that I got this place 2 weeks later.
Amazing. On that note, I will be right back with just one more thing. And just one more thing. Let me say a little bit about dogs. One of the things that I just loved seeing at Mariposa was the number of residents who had dogs and how important their pets were to them and how accommodating the building was in recognizing that so many residents would be coming with their pets. I have had dogs for as long as I can remember. My very first dog, when I was a very little girl, was a German, miniature German Schnauzer named Liesel, who developed diabetes. So, as a 7 or 8 year old girl, I had to walk Liesel every morning, put a little litmus paper under her stream of urine, and then come back and calibrate the amount of insulin she needed based on how yellow or green that litmus paper was. So it really is a wonder after that early experience that I did not go into the medical profession. But Liso lived a very long time with well controlled diabetes. We later had a couple of Bichons. The first one was named Nicholas Nickleby, and the second one was Alexander the Great. We called him Alex. And as an adult, Steve and I got our first dog when our kids were little, and he was a giant greyhound named Jason, who we rescued from a track in Arizona. And that dog was the most gentle, loving pet I have ever had. And now we have two little mutt fur balls. We have Lacey, who is 14 and looks kind of like a poodle, and Peaches, who is 13 and is rather unidentifiable. We'll put up a picture and you can tell me what you think Peaches is. And that's just one more thing.